I've been shooting a lot of videos lately, and then I realize when I move my wrist around or anything, I have this on, and everything else that I've bought in the last year, I've put in front of a camera and talked about it, except for this. This, I wanted to really just test it and work with it and try to figure out if this is something that I would actually like. It is something that I use regularly. I just put it on my wrist and that's it. I like the fact that it can sort of track my sleep. I like that it tracks my steps during the day, and it will kind of nudge you saying, hey, you haven't done X amount of, it's 250 steps every hour for an allotment of time. I do 12 hours, so from 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening. That has really kept me active. I'm trying to go to the gym. I'm trying to be more active. The big thing about this, one of the things that really brought me to go ahead and buy one of these, I do use the health app from time to time, but the metrics on this is a little bit better. I was making a YouTube video and I was editing it, and I walked and I did a side profile, and I was like, oh no, that's got to go, all of that. So this guy has kept me on my feet and kept me on my toes, so to speak, that I can actually keep an eye on what I'm doing. And I like metrics, and I like having graphs and numbers that I can look at and say, this is definitive, this to this. And I start at a place and I get to another place. Hopefully I have some goals set for this, and it's nice. And I think the only thing about, I would maybe get the one with a heartbeat. I kind of like the idea of the heartbeat. Maybe whenever this thing breaks. I don't know how long these things last. I know people that have this, so I just took their word for it. I didn't really look at it, reviews or anything like that. I wash my hands just like anybody else, so it does get splashes every now and again. I haven't had any problems with it. I make sure not to get it wet. I just, a splash every here now and again isn't that big of a deal. Wrist placement is the best for me, I think. There are other ways you can do it. I could probably stick it in my shoe or something too, for that matter. But so far I've liked it. I think it's been 2 months since I've had this now, and I've done around 70 miles, which they give you little badges to tell you different goals you've met. Like, that's the distance the emperor penguin takes from the ocean to its breeding ground. That's interesting. Wearable devices, I've never been a fan of wearable devices, but this is kind of out of the way. And if anything, I use the watch component the most, because having a watch is still something I like to do, even though I use my phone the majority of the time. But having a watch is nice. Whether or not this thing will actually hold up to my abuse, so far it has. The one thing I didn't like, the band that it came with, I didn't care for it. I bought a third-party band on Amazon, and this one is a little bit better. I don't know if I would recommend it. I like the fact that it's a bit tighter and it's a bit easier to get off and on. I do struggle with it sometimes. It does scratch right out of the box, so you can't allow. This hasn't scratched. The Fitbit hasn't scratched. The band has scratched, like out of the box it scratched, but that's just the way it is. So I'll probably do an update on the Fitbit, but probably not for a little while. I want to get, let's do this. When I get another 70 miles, then I'll probably do another update, and maybe, I don't know how long these things last either. They're rechargeable. Like I said, I didn't really look. I just kind of started, and here we are. So this is a Fitbit Alta. I didn't do an unboxing or anything for it, but I felt I needed some sort of me to talk about it, because I needed content for YouTube, and it's always nice to have another opinion on this somewhere, opinion about an electronic device. So this is a Fitbit Alta. So far it's been good because it's kind of an out-of-the-way thing. I will continue to use it for the foreseeable future, at least, so there's that. And thanks for watching.